Okay, blue case, purple case. Purple case goes to Forward Air, just a few miles down the road from here. And then this one goes to Tequila, Seattle area, right by the airport. So I'm gonna hurry up and get this going. That way I can get all this dropped off today, because Forward Air can take time too. Thing is about Forward Air, if you guys didn't know, these guys are so automated that they have a robot for shipping and receiving out there. Like I call it a robot, but it kind of looks like a, what do you call it? A vending machine, or whatever you want to call it. An ATM. Then you come there with a special paper, scan it. After you scan it, you sit and wait. They come get you. You put a label on. Then they get your freight, and then you scan it again, and that's your POD. So nobody touches anything. No more touching paperwork at Forward Air in Fife, Washington. No more touching. So there's no more of that. Just so you guys know. Kind of a weird way, but that's how they're doing it. All 100% out, automated. So that's how it's done. That's how it's done. Okay, I gotta wait for well, for delivery either way. I don't need a bill of lading for the Forward Air. Actually, I do. I'm just gonna write picture POD and take a picture of them taking it. But besides that, they don't sign anything, so there's no printed name or any of that kind of stuff. So it's, you know, that's how it is anymore with those guys. They're trying to automate everything, and you never know. Maybe at some point we'll come to that. Some point, sometime, we're probably gonna end up, you know, reaching that point where nobody's gonna be wanting to touch paper and all that. It was sort of like that when COVID was here. A lot of places wouldn't sign, and some of the brokers were actually okay. I know one big company out of Colorado, the brokerage, I'm not going to say who it is, but they were okay with just, you know, delivering and, you know, calling it good, taking a picture of it, and that was it. That was enough. So they didn't even have to touch your paper to sign stuff. Now they're back to signing things, and you have to sign at shipper, at receiver, all that stuff. But during COVID, that was long gone. They were trying to, I don't know what the purpose of that was, trying to prevent non-touching of the touching, so you're not touching. One of those things. Lots of trucks in this area, lots of people loading, unloading, all that stuff, waiting around. Busy area by the port out here. Oh, what the heck? Something's making a ruckus over there. And I know my blue case, that one doesn't, that one has an issue, a little problem with the handle going in. So I don't know why that handle does not want to go inside. Look at that Mercedes. Kind of like wannabe Rolls Royce, but it's not. Look at the paint job. What do you guys think of that S-Class? I like the luxury cars. I do. I like them, but I don't know. Mercedes S-Class. I like the inside. It looks really good on the inside. The front is okay. The rear end, for that kind of money, needs a lot of work. That's my opinion of the Mercedes S-Classes. And a lot of the other Mercedes, like sedans that they have. You gotta like it. Somehow you gotta be on the same page with the designer of them, and I'm not on the same page with that rear end design. It just doesn't make sense. For the money that they're asking for those vehicles, it definitely needs to improve and change, because no way. All right, and here's the Forward Air at Fife. We got a robot inside. I don't think they like to be filmed inside, so I ain't gonna be doing that. But yeah, I'm gonna go check in with the robot. All right, it wasn't bad actually. I think I got like in and out of there within about 5 minutes. That includes going, using the restroom, washing my hands, and getting the freight off and everything else. I guess if you know how to do it and they're not busy, which their warehouse was halfway empty, or even more than halfway empty, it wasn't bad at all. Basically, you come in and you're supposed to have a forward air paper with you. Forward air paper with a barcode underneath. And you come in and you go to the little ATM machine / robot and you scan. You go in there, you scan your driver's license, the back of it, and then you scan that barcode that's on the bill of lading. At that point, it basically gives you a printout saying that you scanned it in with another barcode underneath. And it also gives you a label, prints you out a label to tape on the freight. So once you're done with that, you go and sit down and wait, and a forklift driver comes up to you when they're available. They come get you. You tell them what door you're at, and then you go to the door. You put the label on the freight. He takes the freight, puts it on the dock, scans it. When they scan it, then you take your little receipt that they give you, and you scan that one more time. You go in there and check in one more time with the robot. Scan the barcode, and it gives you a tender receipt. Supposedly that's your hard copy POD, HCPOD / POD, whatever you want to call it. Basically, that tells you that they've received it, and that's it, and you're done. Contactless, as far as you touching somebody's pen, somebody else touching your pen, signing paperwork, printing their first and last name on the paperwork, just like we do everywhere else with everything else. They don't do none of that. So you guys can figure out for yourselves if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, if it's not busy and you're computer savvy or whatnot, it's pretty quick. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't speak good English, you can't read or write, it's going to be hard for you. So that's what the world is coming to. I didn't have coffee today, but look at this. Look what's here. I drove right through it when I was coming here. Should we dare to go through the drive-thru? Do they even have one? I don't think they have one. Oh yeah, they do, right there. Would we fit? I don't think we'll fit either way. Yeah, just go inside. Quad shot vanilla latte. How about that? What do you guys think of that? Venti. Quad shot, 4 shots of coffee. Let's go get it. Buck's Coffee hit the spot. Especially the quad shot. Almost done with it, so feeling a little better, a little stronger, backing up. There we go. All right, doing my last drop and on my way home after this. Unless something else pops up that can pay decently, but kind of doubt it. This area has been dead, and it is dead. I mean, it's just certain loads just from certain brokers like this that normally they have a way to do it, and their way of normally doing it doesn't work out because everybody has setups, everybody kind of depends on other people and so on and so forth. So this guy's coming in. Well, I gotta go get unloaded. Whoo! The blue case is a pain in my butt, I tell you. Let's go this way. Maybe I'll go eat somewhere. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling something, but not. I don't know. I could eat some kind of Asian food, if anything, but I don't know what's where and how long it takes. Let's go see. or some kind of like Who Hut. I'd go to Who Hut if they have one nearby over here. Besides that, I don't really crave anything as far as food goes. Nothing else really. Intrigues me, as you should say, or as I should say. Okay, clean the windshield here. And that's it. What I was saying about the handle thing is, that handle is, I think basically when the guy was unloading at the pickup, he was unloading the trailer, because I got there and the stuff was still on a truck. So when he was unloading it, he must have like hit that handle and it ruined something in there. So basically he brought it to me and the handle was out. I tried to push it in and it wouldn't work. It pushed in a little bit and it wouldn't work after that. So I couldn't even slam it in or pull it out or any of that kind of stuff. I barely fit it in the van and got it to turn around, because the way he had it on his forks was from the side, and with the handle out, it was way too wide. So I did all my finagling over there and basically barely made it fit, but long story short, that handle's busted on there. So whoever's going to be taking that delivery somewhere, yeah, they're going to be having fun with that. Anyways, maybe lunchtime for me, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I should just call it a day and just hit home. Either way, I wasn't planning to wait for any kind of freight out here, because there's really, nothing to wait for around here, but we'll see. I guess we'll see. Gonna just get on Google and see what kind of Asian foods are around here that I might like. I don't know if there is anything. If there is, maybe I'll go grab something, just kind of munch on it while I'm driving home. Still a 4-hour drive. And the longer I wait, it's almost 1 o'clock, the longer it's going to take me to get home. So it's best to get out of here before 2:30, 3 o'clock, because around 2 o'clock, traffic starts jamming up, and then it takes a lot longer on that 405. So that's it, guys. This one here, I don't know. I mean, two-stopper, it didn't really take too long, but it wasn't really that fast. I think in total, probably, like with all the driving around and everything else, it took 3 hours probably, maybe more. I think more, because by the time I went, I don't know. I can't tell you the time. I wasn't following it. I don't remember exactly when and how long it took, but anyways. It's okay. It paid $500. Kind of surprised that it did pay that much too, in a way, but on the other hand, it is there is labor in it, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, it just is what it is. I'm not saying it's a bad price. I'm saying it's a super rate for these days, because things are actually pretty cheap and pretty slow in the areas where there's a lot of freight, like Houston, Atlanta, pretty much all the big cities around the East Coast, and they're really everywhere. Things are slow and cheaper, and they're more cheap than slow. Its freight is always slower in the wintertime, but the fact is that it's cheap. There's a lot of people doing this still. A lot of people, a lot of competition. And that competition, sometimes these folks buy the van, and our competition sometimes drives vans for, $3,000 to $5,000 vans, the cheap crap ones. They take that little freight, and if they make $200 in a day after their expenses, they're very happy. And making only $200 in a day doing this, being out and about for weeks at a time, that's a risky business, and I don't think it's worth it unless you're living in that van. And I don't know, you know what I mean? Some people do mostly live in their vans, but most drivers we work with, they want to come home to their families and everything else. So I don't understand the folks that would haul the freight for the prices that they'll haul it for, because a lot of times some of these brokers will post a load and it's like a 100-mile run for $150. And it's like, who's going to want to do a 100-mile run for only $150? I mean, that's... Dispatch needs to make something. Driver needs to make something, and it usually goes somewhere crap area where you have to turn around and head another 100 miles back or out of there, or even add more mileage to it. Sometimes, the load's 50 miles and they're paying $100, and they're thinking, oh man, we're paying so great, $2 a mile for a 50-mile run that could take you 2 hours to get loaded for free, drive an hour, maybe hour and a half, depending on where it's at, and then could take you possibly 2 hours to get unloaded. That's 4.5 to 5 hours out of a day, and they want to pay you only $100 or $150. I mean, that's, come on, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. So some of these rates are just, don't get me started on them, but that's just how it is. And why are they doing this? Because somebody else is giving them those kind of rates, that they're depending on those, because if they get them once, they get them twice. Broker and their customer gets used to those rates, they drop them or pocket it. I don't know, mostly dropping it usually is what it is, but that's how the freight world works. It's called supply and demand. If there's nobody else standing there and it's you, then of course you're getting the load and you're getting the business. If it's in the middle of nowhere and you're in the middle of nowhere, but usually you got to have the patience and the funds and everything else to just sit in the middle of nowhere for who knows how long until you get a load. We normally don't do that, and normally if a load goes nowhere, then obviously we calculate miles and try broker, when we bid the load, get broker and their customer to pay all those miles to that pickup and out of that delivery if it's a bad area, slow area, to the next better place. It's harder to get that these days, but it is what it is. I mean, there's no point to go sit somewhere in the middle of Dakotas or in the middle of Montana or somewhere in the middle of Idaho or whatever, somewhere in the middle of Oregon, and just hope for the best. It's kind of, in my 10-year experience, that's not how it works. Sometimes it works out that way if a driver lives nowhere, in the middle of nowhere, and he's sitting at home and there is a load that pops up out of there, then yeah, it's good for that driver. But usually that driver will just deadhead when he's ready to go. He just deadheads so he's not wasting time. Deadheads to the biggest nearest place that has freight, city, even if it's hundreds of miles or even 500 miles, whatever. Just depends where you live. Then you start out from there. But yeah, gonna finish up my coffee, get on Google and see what's up. God bless you guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Good day for me today. Holiday coming up, so you guys all have yourself a very good winter. Hopefully everything works out for you guys. Whoever's starting the business, hope everything works out for you guys. Whoever's in business already, I hope things work out great for you guys. And we could all use more patience. We could all use better paying freight, and we could all use cheaper fuel. That's all I gotta say. God bless. Take care. Good thing about Seattle, any other bigger place like Portland, any big city, is there's a ton of Asian food really around every corner. So just 1 minute away from where I was, teriyaki time, got some miso soup. I like soups. If you guys want to please me, soup is going to be one of them. Has to be a soup with a meal. And then basically a beef, and I ordered something with extra beef. We'll see if it's really what I thought it would be. There's no pictures. I hate getting Asian food with no pictures. So if you guys have an Asian restaurant, always do pictures, because it's so much easier for somebody to make a decision and not be disappointed in their decision when they get, okay, here we go, with rice. For some reason I thought it'd be with noodles, but okay, with rice works too. So there's rice, there's beef, sauce. I got extra sauces. All right, on my way. Gonna be eating miso soup and driving and eating this at the same time. I thought it'd be like more of a noodles together with, you know, veggies, a bunch of veggies, and kind of like Hoo Hut style. But hey, that's okay. That works out all right. But pretty expensive with the soup and with what you saw. That's $30. That's for one person. That's a lot. That's insane. I hope it's just as good as $30, because for $30, I could have went to a Feast Buffet right now for lunch and would have had that much food, and it would have been good, because they got seafood, they have soups, they have sushi, they have everything.